Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing this morning? We are kicking this off a little bit early this morning. Um, we want to go over this, what I call my micro account deal. The small account is what we trade out of every day here. But, like I said, there's a lot of guys that haven't even made it to the 2,000 mark yet. Less than 2,000, some are less than 1,500. And there's a different mindset that you have to have when you are trading that small. And, a lot of this, taking $500 or $600 or $1,000 and turning it into $50,000 in a matter of months is really unrealistic. Now, can it happen? Yeah, miracles can happen. You luck up and you catch the right stop. What was that? BPTH. If you lucked up and you got 1,000 shares of it, when it was around $1 or $2, and you rode that thing up, yeah, it's possible. But how likely is that? Very unlikely. So your mindset has to be different. There are things that you're gonna have to focus on. That's going to be a little bit different. LY, that's a very good question, and it's going to be answered here in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to share with you my schedule as well. All right, so we're going to take this first 30 minutes to go over a couple of things, and then we're going to start building our watch list for the day. We'll get our day started. But I don't want to, the reason why I wanted to do this is, just telling you is not really going to cut it. I need to show you what it looks like. Let me see, restore down. Trying to get my screen set up. That's my alarm. Let me fix screen share in here for you guys. All right. So, just to differentiate between the two, I'm going to call this one my micro account because this is actually smaller than small. So what we're going to be looking for are stocks between $10 and $40. That's where we're going to start. Now, as your account grows, you can start looking at higher price stocks. Ideally, you would want to trade higher price stocks with smaller size because that's less risk. And the whole point, one of the main focuses you're going to have as you grow your account is reducing your risk, reducing the amount of exposure you have, because you want to keep as much of that capital as you can. Nobody wants to stay trading in these brokers that cater to small accounts for that long. Okay, these brokers are like predatory lenders. These guys that they know that we are strapped. These predatory lenders know that we may not have good credit. We can't go to the bank to borrow. We can't get credit cards. So they're going to offer us that service, but then they're going to charge us 10 times as much. And until we work ourselves out of that, now they're providing a service that's really necessary, that we're going to need to actually work ourselves out of the hole that we're in. It's the same thing with these brokers. They're necessary because they're going to help us get out of the situation that we're in. But we don't want to stay in there. We want to move to a traditional broker that we have more freedom and all of that. So the main thing is we want to preserve and grow. And we don't want to spend our money. We're going to talk about the money aspect of it starting next Wednesday. It was a long time before I was able to be a financial advisor so that I could openly talk to you about, planning your finances and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to start doing next Wednesday for our grow your dough, not grow your dough, for your roadmap, the roadmap series. So I'm only going to trade the 3 strategies, and these are the 3 strategies that you want to learn in the beginning. These are mainly mechanical strategies. Now, once you have mastered these and you are putting money in your account every week, there are subjective strategies that I can teach you, that I use. The earning potential is greater, but you have to have a certain skill set in order to be able to trade those. But for now, you'll see opening range, breakout, breakdowns, then trend continuation, and then the reversals. We're only going to focus on the A+ setups. So here's what a typical day would look like. Now this morning, on this day, we started out with the opening range, breakdown. Unfortunately, it didn't work. This is one that set up and it failed, and we're going to see this. No strategy is going to be 100% perfect every day. So we can't let that discourage us. We had this fail, but we locked in on this one stock, and we waited and we were patient until it set up again. We got the entry and we ended up, getting the trade. And then we, went to lunch. We got back later on in the day, it sets up again, and we get the strong move at the end of the day. And actually, we had to get out at 3:30 at this point because of having to be at 2-to-1 by 3:30. And sometimes you're going to see that. Sometimes we're going to have a small enough piece we could leave on until the close. And if this was the case, look at what we could have added. But the point is, ideally, we want to lock in on a stock and let it work for us. Professional traders do not chase stocks all day. They let them come to us. They let them come to them. I'm not chasing stocks all day. That's why I have my scanner, and that's why I build my watch list, because when the setups come, I want them coming to me. I don't want to go chasing them. When you go chasing, that's when things get messed up. It's like what happens is you're trading a stock, or you're looking at a stock and it doesn't look right to you, and then you see somebody else is trading another stock and it's working, and you go chase that one. Or somebody posted something on Twitter or Facebook or any social media about this stock, and then you go chasing that. That's what we can't do. That's only a recipe for failure. We need to stick to our watch list. Now, if our watch list day in and day out are not is not producing, then we need to go back and figure out the parameters of our watch. Why am I not getting the right stops? Because the worst thing you can do is chase. So I've got 3 scans. We're gonna focus only on what we call A plus setups. Everybody uses that term, A plus setup. So we'll talk about every day what an A plus setup looks like. It's very important that you know what an A plus setup looks like. And it's also very important that you know that every setup does not look the same. When you get in the trade, it's not going to react the same. It's not going to feel the same. So you have, you have to be able to navigate each trade and look at each trade a little differently. And you're not going to get that in a book. You're not going to get that in videos, YouTube videos. The only way you're going to get that is being actively engaged in the market. It's the only way you're going to see it. Because looking at these setups on a dead chart means absolutely nothing. You have to know how to identify these as they're setting up, as they are happening. And that's where the challenge comes in. And so the only way you can do that is be in the market. Now, when I started, I would practice at night. I had a full-time job. And for 2.5 years, I would spend 2 to 3 hours at night doing a market replay simulator using on demand and actually trading the first 2 hours of the market every day. So I was able to get actual screen time. And I had to focus like the market was live. And I was watching and trading actual live market data, but I was doing it at night. So there was no substitute for screen time in learning this. So the only way you're going to learn it is to be in the market. Now I have, I say 3 scans. This should be 4. Sometimes my dyscalculia messes with me. It's bad when you can't count to 4. You're losing it. All right, so I've got the pre-market gap scan, the opening range breakout breakdown scan. I rarely use that scan. And I'll show you, we'll look at that scan today too. That's what I use when I have no watch list and I want to be there just in case the market picks up some volatility. But that one, you've got to have a little experience with the strategy before you start running into that one. I've got the reversal scan and I've got the RSI extreme scan. And Mitch, the reversals do usually have an RSI extreme scan, but sometimes the RSI extreme scan doesn't, they're not going to hit the reversal scan because the candlestick pattern doesn't work out. For the reversal scan, you're going to have 4 candles in a row going in one direction. And for an RSI extreme scan, you don't have to have that. So you may have 2 down candles and then an up, 2 down, up, or 3 up, 2 down, 3 up, 4 up, 2 down, and you're not going to get enough candles in one direction to actually trigger the reversal scan. But for the RSI extreme scan, I'm not looking for reversals. I'm more or less looking for the trend continuation. All right, so the tools that I'm going to use. We're going to use Sure Trader. Now, I'm here to tell you, I've been using them since 2014, and there was some dark days with these guys. I mean, some really dark days. But I didn't have any option. I didn't have anywhere else to go. Now you guys have options. Now whether they're better or not, I don't know. I can't answer that because I haven't used these other platforms. But I know most of them from just looking at them from the outside in. They all pretty much operate the same way. Some may have less fees here, but you pay on the other end. Um, what is it, TradeNet? They may not have the commissions, but if you make money, you have to pay them a percentage of what you make. So it kind of, works itself out. But I've been using them. That's who I'm going to keep using, because again, the only way you're going to be able to get into the market is to find a broker that's going to cater to you, especially if you're in the U.S. where you're under the PDT rule. You have to find a broker that is going to cater to you. And like I said earlier, a lot of these brokers are like these predatory, like these predatory lenders. They know they got you, and they're going to take advantage of it. So the scanner that I use is Trade Ideas, and I use FinViz not so much as an intraday scanner, but I use it for my aftermarket trades and stuff like that, which we won't be doing in the beginning. We may be doing a couple of pre-market trades, but aftermarket trades, that comes later on. So I only pay $75 a month. That's because I've had it for like 4 years, and I'm grandfathered in under that price. But I know it's a little more expensive now, and some people have affiliate agreements. But the thing is, if you sign up for it, you're only going to get that special rate 1 month. And after that 1 month, it reverts to whatever the normal price is. But I don't have an affiliation with them. I don't affiliate with anybody. I don't want to get into any conflicts of interest. Trade Ideas has a trading room that people that run Trade Ideas actually trade. So to me, that's a conflict of interest, and I don't, I just can't affiliate with them. But not saying they're bad, because they're good. Trade Ideas is the best thing out there that I feel in terms of being a scanner. It's just that I have certain principles that I follow, and I kind of have to stick to it. For my charting, I use Thinkorswim. That's free. If you can have a cash account with them for a long time, until I put a little bit more money in it at the beginning of the year. I only had $3 in my Thinkorswim account. And, all you need is a cash account. You get access to a cash account with TD Ameritrade. You get access to Thinkorswim. Their scanning is not the greatest. It's really made for swing trading, but it works. I started out using that because I didn't have the money to buy other stuff. But the charting, I love it. I know it has issues when you're trying to run too many things at one time on your computer. It'll lag, but if you have it dedicated, then it's fine. So it's great. So for my my charting, I also use, the DOS platform on SureTrader, the SureTrader Pro platform. All it is DOS that's kind of catered to, SureTrader. It's pretty much the same. But I pay $124 a month for it. And for the news, I use FinViz, which you'll see how I use that today too when we start building our watch list. And Thinkorswim, they have a Benzinga feed that's free that I play, and it's live news. So anytime you have breaking news, the guy will come on and he'll announce the breaking news. Now, granted, it's about 30 to 45 seconds later than when it hits the mainstream, but I'm not going to react immediately to the news. I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to react on the secondary part. And that's, the breaking news plays, that's more of a subjective strategy. That's one of those subjective strategies that I told you. Once you learn and you get these first strategies down and you're consistently profitable with them, that's another one of those strategies you can add on that's more subjective, that can happen later on in the day when maybe the morning just didn't work out, you didn't have any trades. It's something you could do later on in the day. Same thing with my earnings trades. They're more subjective versus mechanical. So you're going to have a certain skill set to be able to do those. And that's what we're developing as we're growing our small account. See, the mindset is we grow. As we're growing our account, we're developing the skills, the patience, the discipline, that we need in order to be professionals, because it's all about execution. You'll see, if you haven't already, it's easy to learn strategies. Okay? It's easy to learn a strategy, but it's hard. The difficult part is executing that strategy consistently in the market every day. And that's where that screen time comes in. You can't, again, you cannot do it watching videos. You can't do it reading books. You got to be actively engaged in the market. That's the only way it's going to happen. All right, so those are the tools, the basic tools that I'm using. Here's my summer morning routine. I love it. I wish I could do this every day. Once my son starts driving, hopefully here toward, sometime this coming school year, then I could be here every day. The last couple of days, I've been here. I'm here at the close. I'll be starting looking for some pre-market activity. All of these things we'll be able to lock into. So I wake up at 6 o'clock. First thing I'm looking at is the same thing I look at before I go to bed. I'm checking the S&P E-mini futures. Or you can just look at the SPY. So TD Ameritrade is open, they say 24/5. So the SPY runs 24 hours a day. Or E-mini futures trades 24 hours a day. So I look at it at night. I look at it when I wake up in the morning, because I want to see, is the market gapping up? If it is, why? What is it gapping up on? Or if it's gapping down, why is it gapping down? We need to know this going into our morning, because if the market's gapping down, you probably aren't going to want to look for any long trades, any opening range breakouts. If you do, it needs to be solid, because you'll be trading against the market. So you really want to have an idea of what the overall market is doing. How did it react overnight, and what's causing it? So, after going to the gym, working out, I'm back home by 7:30. That's why you see the screen share where it used to pop up at like 6:45 or 7 o'clock before I had to leave to take my son. It's gonna come at 7:30. So it doesn't really matter. You can't do anything between 7 and 7:30 anyway. So that's why you'll see it come on, around 7:30 or so. I'm gonna eat breakfast and be ready to start building the watch list at 8:30. That's when I'll start coming on. Now, if there's some pre-market activity, I'll be here at 8 o'clock, and we'll be looking for that. So, you know how that goes. So 9 to 9:30 is when I'm tracking stocks. The ones that's on my watch list, I'm watching how they're trading going into the open. Sometimes or oftentimes we see them wash out or pop and take up the whole move that we were looking for. It'll run away from us. And so that's when we have to, maybe take our focus off that stock and kind of narrow it down to the ones that are still, open for our setup. But it's important that at 9 o'clock, you don't see me still chasing stocks. Now, every now and then, on rare occasions, there will be a stock that I might have been watching or just looked at that didn't have the volume that it picked it up going into the open that I may add. So, that's kind of what I'm looking for between 9 and 9:30. I'm not chasing, not at all. I'm gonna have to start in this account. I'm gonna have just over $700 from what I can tell. After they took out the platform fee for this month. They did take some other fees out, but they're having to credit them back because I had this account locked for a while. It's one that I had for my daughter to use. So it's been locked for a good year. So that is my morning routine. So from scanning, we're looking for stocks $10 to $40. They're gapping up or down at least $1 or at a minimum 4%. Now we know 4% on lower price stocks is not going to be $1. So, we're looking for either $1 or 4%. We're looking for above 50,000 shares in pre-market volume. If it's not 50K, I don't look at it. It's not relevant to me. Now, once it gets 50K, then, it becomes relevant. The ATR, because we're dealing with lower price stocks, the ATR is not going to be at least $1 like I like it. So it's going to be at least 50 cents, but we will trade a little smaller if the right opportunity presents itself. But as a general rule, we're looking for ATR less than, over 50 cents. Because we do want a stock that has a habit of moving outside of just any catalyst. If a stock has an ATR of like $1.50, that means on average, without any specific catalyst reacting to it, it's gonna move at least $1.50. So we want stocks that are used to, actually moving and giving us the opportunity to make some money here. All right, so the special I shared with you guys last night, and this is the last thing we're going to talk about before we get into building our watch list. Um, it's similar to the roadmap to success deal I offered you. It's a 6-month access to a live trading education chat room. You get 6 personal mentoring sessions. And guys, this is valuable. I'm honestly, the mentoring that I had and the mentoring that I have still is what keeps me on top. Being able to talk to somebody one on one when I'm having issues or when I'm getting frustrated and trying to clean up my trading, you get this free alongside this, and you want to take advantage of it. It's ideal because as you're growing, especially if you're new or if you are having trouble being consistent and sticking to your rules, or you just can't stay with one strategy and you're all over the place. That's where these mentoring sessions come in. But you get access to all live classes, all of my class recordings. As we offer new classes, I don't sell them. You get them for free. We're going to be redoing the day trading class, the swing trading class. Every year I redo it, I update it. So we'll be doing those as the year progresses. So all of that stuff's going to be replaced. Some things are going to be added. You get all of that free. Anything that I have, I give you. My trade idea scans. I only use a couple of hotkeys, and that's for aftermarket earnings trades. And as you see, I have a different way of trading because I don't trade these fast moving, low float running stocks with big spreads. I use market orders. They're simple, they're quick, and 98% of the time I do not have any ridiculous slippage. And so for me, I use the KISS method on everything. Keep it simple, stupid. The more simple it is, the less moving parts you have, the more consistent you're going to be. When I was in my classes, engineering classes, and we had to do projects, people would laugh at how simple my stuff was. But when they outperformed and they were more consistent than the other students, they realized that it's not how complex you make something, it's how reliable you make it. And so making things with is less moving parts is going to be more consistent, more reliable. And that's what the focus is on my trading. I want to make it simpler and more reliable. Now, I did say the first 10 people I was going to, give you a special deal. The first 10 people that sign up or that join, I'm going to double this. So you get double everything. Instead of 6 months, you get a year. Instead of 6 sessions, you get 12. Now, if you're already a member and you want to take advantage of it, you can always do that. And the chat room or the education community time just gets added on to the end of your subscription. So you don't lose anything. If you've been wanting mentoring sessions, this is an incredible deal. So you could take it, just add this to the back end of your subscription. So once the original one runs out, this just adds on to the end. So it's up. That offer is really for everybody. But I can only do that for 10 people. And even if you're not the first 10, I think this is an incredible deal based on what I see out there and what you are going to actually learn. That's what it's all about. Education is not just education, it's the right education. And that's what I'm trying to give you guys, the right education. All right. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Ed@averagejoetrader.com. I'll be glad to answer them for you. But right now, it's time to get to work. So hopefully I answered all the questions you guys about what we're going to be doing. And let me readjust screen share for you guys. Hold on. All right, there we go. What you do is you go to, there's a picture on the website that looks just like the one I just showed you. You just click on that and it'll take you to the page that you want to go to. All you gotta do is click on the picture. I tried to make it easy for you. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. So this is about the time that we come on and we start looking at our scanner. Now the ORB pre-market scan, that's my main focus, because this one is gonna have the stocks that meet my criteria. There's like over 7,000 stocks that are trading every day. And so the only way to find the stocks that meet my criteria is to have a scanner, so that we don't have to go through all of them trying to find the one that the ones that meet our criteria. Darius, it'll be on YouTube. We're streaming it live on YouTube, so the recording will be on there once it processes. So you won't miss anything. So real quickly, what I do is I look at all the parameters here. Now, unless it has 50,000 shares of volume, it's not going to hit. So the volume is going to be there. Now the float, I've changed this up a little bit. It will have lower float stocks. But the main thing is the volume and the gap. That's what's going to be in play here. The dollar gap and the volume. That's what's filtering these out. But I do have the float up here so that I could quickly see, what the float is. So like right here, this CTRV, this is a $10 stock, but it's a 17 million share float stock. I will still give it a look real quick, but I may not be so inclined to trade it because of, the low float. All right, so let's take a look at HOME. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at each stock, and this is where I use FinViz. Okay, and how I use FinViz is all I do is type in the ticker. All I do is type in the ticker. Oh, it told me. I typed in FinViz on FinViz website. I just type in the ticker, and I look at, okay, earnings is today before market open. I know we're on earnings, and I just kind of glance at the news. Is there anything other than earnings? Okay, so there's nothing in the last week other than earnings. So that's all this is moving on. But I want to know, what the catalyst is outside of earnings. But I'm already going to know because I've got the earnings scans over here. This is up with earnings and this is down with earnings. All this is I use it to reference what stocks are on earnings. And usually if they hit over 50K, they're on this side over here. Like SFIX is right here. It's the one we traded on earnings yesterday. CIEN is over here because they're over 50K in volume. Now SIG may hit 50K here in the next 10-15 minutes. Then it should pop over here. Unless the float doesn't meet the parameters. Or unless the gap doesn't meet the parameters. Then you won't see it over here. So HOME, this is what I love. I love it. 52-week low break. Unfortunately, this thing is already down $5, so that might not offer any good opportunities. It may be too far. Okay, here's a 52-week low here. You can see how far we are away from it. The RSI is already at 14. So what's going to have to happen is we're going to need a bounce on this. We're going to need a significant bounce to take it out of oversold and give us a good entry. Now, yes, this thing can sell off. It can sell off. It can continue to sell. It could go all the way to zero. Because look how low this was here. This was at 5 and 6. I mean, it can go lower. But ideally, we want to see it bounce out of oversold so we can short it as it falls back into the oversold territory. But I'm going to keep it on watch because these are the ones that I do like. Sometimes they don't hold and they try to run back up to the 52-week low. But this one you can see we've got way too many levels of resistance in through here. All of these moving averages are resistance. So we've got to, take that into consideration as well. But watching HOME. So we're going to have that one on watch. CLDR. Now this one, the float on it's 236 million share float. So this is one of those rare $5 stocks that we could actually look at. That would be safer for us to trade. But look at 52-week low, another one. But it's gapped down over 3 points. This one's gapped down over 3 points. So, another one we need to be, aware of. Now, we're not so deep in the oversold territory yet. But nobody knows how much this thing can continue to sell. The only thing we know is that we are on in SSR territory. We know HOME is going to be on SSR when it opens because it's down over 10%. CLDR is going to be on SSR because it's down over 10%. So we know those two are going to be on SSR. And what you'll see some people do is actually short it before the open because it'll be easier for them to get in and they'll take their risk or take a chance being in it at the open and just weather any pops we get. But I don't, that's not some strategy that I like to employ. But this is one that would be on watch because it's not one of those crazy low float stocks. We're making a 52-week low. So we are good to go. Now, one thing you can see when we look at these, you can see this on Thinkorswim. It gives you the icon telling you that it's on earnings, and then it tells you when the conference call or when it's happening. So we know this happened after the market closed yesterday. If we see the earnings sign and we don't see the call sign, then we need to look to see when that conference call is happening, because you don't want to be in the stock while the call is happening, because it can move really quickly against you. Now, the only time you'll see me still in a stock during the conference call is if I've already taken profit twice and I've got my final piece still on and I could put it back at break even. So if we do start to pop, it's going to take me out at break even. Other than that, I'm not going to trade in the morning. Now, I know that's contradictory to my aftermarket earnings strategy. That's a completely different scenario altogether. So MIK, here's another one, less than $10. We got 157 million share float. So this one will put it in play for us. And here's what I'm talking about. Here is the earnings icon, but we don't see the conference call meeting icon. So Thinkorswim, all you have to do is type it in. And it'll tell you, you can see exactly what time the conference call starts. 8 a.m. Central, meaning it'll start at 9 o'clock market time. So this is going to start at 9. I like them to start and get it out the way before the market opens so that we can focus 100% on the market. Now, this one is a 52-week low, but I really like this one because it's still really close to its 52-week low. So this thing can either reject and sell off, which is what we would want it to do, or it can claim it and start to push back up. So either way, we're going to have a plan for it either way. That's what you've got to have. Anytime I look at a stock, I'm going to have a plan to go long or short. Or I'm going to look at it. If a stock doesn't have a plan to one side, then I'm going to move it to the back of my watch list online. That doesn't mean I won't trade it. It's just that it's going to be at the back of the line. I want a stock that I can have like multiple opportunities to go long or short. All right, let me pull this. So the next one, ABLR. I don't see this one on the earnings list, so I need to check what this is. All right, so it's a public offering. I don't typically trade public offerings because what it usually does is just goes to whatever the offering price is and trades around there all day. There's usually no trading room. You see what it does? It looks just like a buyout. So there's nothing there. No room to make money. So CIEN, this is on earnings, so we know we want to look at that. We can look right over here and see that CIEN is on earnings. And this one is strong. This thing is gapping up pretty good. So what I'm going to do is, if I haven't marked the pivots or the areas on the daily chart where the stock changed direction, My definition of a pivot may be different. You know, some people calculate this, that, and the other thing. I don't calculate anything. I look at the areas on the chart where the stock changed direction. So every place that stock changed direction, to me, that's a pivot. That's a pivot point. If you look at, well, that's more scientific. But if you look at a teeter-totter and you put like a triangle block under it, where it teeters or moves back and forth, that's the pivot point. And so that's why I look at these as pivot points. And you guys that's already been in the room, you know it works. You've seen it work for years. So these are definitely levels of support or resistance. So now we've got these marked in. And this is pretty neat. This can make a run towards a 52-week high. It can make a run towards a 52-week high for sure. So nice windows. We're in the conference call now. So that's going to be out of the way. So this is definitely a winner. SFIX. This is the big earnings trade we took yesterday. This is what pulled me out of the red. You know, pulled me from the abyss yesterday. See, nice gap up here. We're kind of holding the gap. But let's see. Let me open this up a little bit so I can see what's going on. All right. So we may be finding support here on this 100-period moving average. We do have some support here, but the deviation bands are opening to the downside, which means just what we see. We've got some selling pressure here. So we'll see. So definitely, now I marked these levels yesterday, you know, so they're already marked. I know where they are. I know these are legit. So I just need to add the daily moving averages here. So 2607 is the 90-day. Let me put this one in. 2607. $26.07, 90-day. And then we've got the 2580 is oh no, that's too low. I don't think it's coming back there. Where is it? 200? 200 is 2755. So let's just put this one in, 2755. So all I need to do is add the daily moving averages. All right, now I know there is a way that I can have Thinkorswim add the daily moving averages automatically to the charts, but I like to do this manually because it forces me to look at these charts and I get a better feel for it. So I want to do this manually. So definitely SFIX. I don't know it. I don't use it. I don't use this. I know somebody said you could do it, but I don't use it. So you'll have to look it up. Or David might know it. He's become the resident Thinkorswim guru, so he might know how to do it. All right, then CTRV. What's the news on it? This thing has been steady going down. Positive drug results. Classic pump and dump. Stocks that are up on positive drug result news, a lot of times they end up coming all the way back. But the other thing I looked, everything that I looked at. Oh, one of the things that I look at also on these is I check to see if we have shares to short available. Like, so CLDR, we have shares to short. Because if you don't have shares to short, you don't waste your time looking at it. HOME, we have shares to short. CTRV, we don't. So you don't want to waste your time looking at something if you don't have shares. So that's what we want to that's a very important point I want to make. All right, so it's 9 o'clock. We pretty much have our watch list. What I want to do now is just go through. Now, a lot of times that we will find stocks that are on earnings that have the volume that didn't make the list, and usually that's either they don't have the gap or the float is a little bit too high. If it's over 500 million shares, it's not going to show up on this scan. So that's going to, for something over 500 million shares or under 50 million shares float, that's going to take an executive decision whether to put it on my watch or not. So here's SIG. This one, like I said, it did make it over. So it's just at 61. Here's BYND. This one's probably going to hit. We're almost at 50. So why isn't SIG on the watch list? Look at the gap. Only 32 cents. 1.6%. Not tradable for me. It's not going to give me the opportunity that I want or that I need to trade. So BYND, this one is probably going to hit. So it's so close. Let's take a look at it. And then we'll have our watch list set. Looks like it is a recent IPO. If a stock is not at least 6 months old, it's too young for me to trade it. So I stay away from it. Any stock that's 0 to 6 months old, you're not going to see me trade it. And there's some strategies where if the stock is not at least a year old, I won't trade it. So I'm not going to jail for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So I'm not trading these young stocks. Got to let them mature. So we've got our watch list. Only 4 stocks today. Only 4 today. So let me share that with you guys here. Let's see, we got CO, let's see, I'm watching HOME, CLDR, CIEN, and SFIX. Now some days it's gonna be we're gonna have a lot to work through, and it may take a minute, and some days it'll be relatively quick. So this is the time that we sit back and we're waiting for the market. We're waiting for the open. So we're watching the stocks as they come into our open here. Oh yeah, guys, if you weren't here yesterday, I got the Facebook group up. So you guys can share charts, whatever you want to there. I know it'll be an easier platform to do it. I am looking at getting another one hooked up because I know not everybody has Facebook. But right now Facebook is up and running. And I had the link posted yesterday, so I'll see if I could find the link again. And my daughter helped me get that hooked up, so I'm not a social media guru by any means. So she helped me get that hooked up. All right, so right now, this is the time. This is the quiet time where we are looking at our watch list. Watching what they do going into the open. Um, we're looking at CIEN, it's really, I know it's in the 70s. So it's still in play for me. I use kind of an extreme number for my oversold or overbought. For this to be overbought, it would have to get into the 80. It have to get over 80. But ideally, I want to see it pull back going into the open. So it would give us more room. Not ideally, that's what I want to see. And oversold for me is under 20. Yeah, the max price is $150 for my ORB scanner. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Stay up too late, son. Stay up too late. Too many beers. All right, let's see. Oh, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Let's get ready to rumble here. Let's get ready to rumble. So I do have a big, a main gapper scan here that if I don't have anything showing up anywhere else, I will have it here. I will look through this main gapper scan, and all I do is I look at the price. I look at the volume, and then I'll scan over to the price and float. And if it looks good, I'll vet it. If it doesn't, I'll move on. But 90% of the time, the stocks that are going to meet my criteria are going to hit my ORB scanner. Missed it. Oh, you know what? I didn't have to do that. Oh, you dummy. Oh, you so dumb. You gotta have more sense than that, boy. Come on, Ed. You smarter than that, dude. You are smarter than that. I just lost it. So HOME is selling off. It just made a new low. It is selling off here. All right. So CIEN is on our watch. 43.96. I can't put that 43.96 level in, but I could do 42.12. 40.76. And 40.16. So we've got these in. So obviously we're going to want to see a pullback on this. That's what I would want to see at the open. I want to see this pull back before it sets up. Then I could potentially take it to the long side. HOME. You know, this one is selling off already. We just took out the pre-market low. And where is the 52-week low on this? All the way back at 15.89. So you can see this one, I doubt if it has any chance of getting back up here today. So 15.89. It's the pre-market low on it. CLDR, this one's kind of staying close to home. I don't see much movement on it. It's kind of flatlined here. So I don't see much on that one. But the one I'm looking at that I'm curious about is this SFIX. This one has some good room to go. All right, so SFIX. 29.74. right where we are now. We got a level here. Well, that was close enough. We got 29.74. $28.90. $28.90. Man, HOME is gone. It is flipping gone. Damn it, man. This is what I hate. But this summer, I'm going to be catching these moves. These moves between 8:30 and 9:30. I'm going to take them out. And no, I'm not going to say I made $200 before 9 o'clock and I'm going home for the day. That's not what a real trader does. All right, so let's sit back. We're going to wait and see what this open's going to bring us. We're going to see what this open's going to bring us. Damn, home is washing. Ooh, look at that damn thing. This sucks, man. This just plain sucks. Could be eating that one for dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No, it's not on margin restriction right now. But it will be on SSR as soon as the market opens. Man, SFIX is on margin restriction at SureTrader. I guess they didn't like that trade yesterday, so they kicked it on. Well, 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 well. Let's see what we're going to do. Man, this HOME would have been really nice. Really, really, really nice. Now maybe we'll get a big bounce here. That will give us a good opportunity. We'll know once the 5 minute or the 3 minute opening range sets. Some people will play this short right off of, some people will play this short on the break of the pre-market low here. So if we open it and starts to sell, you'll have some people playing it right off of this. go. And we're off. So right now, the first order of business on this is going to be, what is it going to do here at the 100 period? CIEN is pulling in. Here we go. It's still working. It's still volatile. Still working itself through its ranges here. You can see CIEN is pulled in. This is what we wanted to see it do. See if it's going to pull back and hold here.
Home.
CLDR is on the watch list, but we just have to wait and see what it does. I don't know how much. I really don't know how much this thing has in it. Don't know how much that has in it. That's the pre-market low.
CTRV. AMD.
Yeah, I don't know how home they can get on SSR. I don't know how that happened. So I'm watching this on a break of this 28.90 level. I'm catching it. There we go. Because I was looking at the 3-minute.
SFIX.
So what I want to see is it pull back to
XOM.
the 200. Because we're working off the 3-minute chart.
AMD.
So that was a 3-minute low right there. But I'm making the trades off of the so I want to take half off around 28. We can get there. See if we can get to 28.
CTRV.
And see here, and now here is the here's the true 5-minute opening range, but we played off the 3-minute. So let's see what it's gonna do. So I waited. Here's a 3-minute opening range low. We waited for it to get below this level here, but we're unable to crack the 5-minute low. So we have to wait and see if it's going to crack this or not. It might be pissed off at me
NVDA.
from yesterday. And it may want to take some of its money back. Who knows?
AMD.
So let's see if it's gonna go. I want to see it pull back to the 200 on the daily chart. All right, CIEN just broke 5-minute opening range high. So that was a trigger.
NVDA.
And it sucks, man. The market was selling off. It was going in the right direction, and then it quit. It dumped on us. So the next level on CIEN is 43.96, right up around 44. So if you can get a point on that, that'd be great.
XOM.
And this is strange. This is really strange here. The price action on this SFIX is really strange.
CN.
No, I'm not trading. This is SFIX.
AMD.
CEIN looks like it's going to be the winner today. You know, I thought,
XOM.
I mean, I went short. The market looked like it was coming in. You know, the market was selling off. Everything was going in the direction that I wanted it to go. And then all of a sudden, bam! Why would you want to short CIEN? See, this is just BS, man. Complete and utter BS. That's what the hell this is.
AMD. XOM.
What the shit is this? Man, if we close back above this trade's dead. This trade is dead. What the fuck is that?
CVX.
Man, I can't believe it. We were under the 90. We're under the 100 period. It's just one of these that just did not work. It just did not work. Boom, 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 boom. Just have to be patient. Beat don't fail me now. Beat don't fail me now. Beat don't fail me now. Fail me now.
CN.
They're doing nothing but playing with us. They're not doing anything but playing games with me. That's it. They're playing these BS games with me. I should have known this thing was on margin restriction. I should have known they were going to play with it. Somebody was going to play with it. I don't know why. You fuck me every day. It's just strange price action. Really strange. Yeah, this one's crazy. This one's kind of crazy too. We're not getting any follow through on anything, man. Um, my stop on HOME. No, I'm not. What the hell? Hold on. SFIX. If we would have made a higher high here, that would have taken me out. But it didn't make a higher high. So we'll see if it comes in and it cracks. It cracks the low, 5-minute opening range low. We'll see what it does.
CN.
I'm still looking for 28. But this price action is just strange today. It's just strange.
Roku.
But CIEN, this one, you got a level here right at 43.96. So you're about to hit your first profit target there. SFIX is having trouble with this 5-minute opening range low. It's got to break it. It's got to sell through it. We don't have anything until it cracks this level. There's nothing on this. It's got to get through here. All this trading sideways off this level ain't gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it, man. Now, if you look at the SPY today, that tells you everything you need to know.
CN.
you look at how the SPY's trading, it tells you everything you need to know. It's trading like crap.
AMD.
So it tells us everything we need to know. Uh, 45.70 is what I've got for, which is a 52-week high on CIEN. It is a 52-week high. That should have been the one. I was sitting here messing around with SFIX, and this was the one here. That was the winner. It may be the all-time high. I only look at I'm only looking at the all right, come on down. I'm only looking at the I'm about to take
Roku.
take half off here. Right here at 28. Well, 28.03. Got a little slippage, but that was the that was the plan. So the stop now is at break even.
CN.
I better allow for some slippage too, just in case. So I want to take some more off here at 27.55 if it gets there. If it gets there. So we just, sometimes you just got to be patient. See if we're going to hit 27.55. Come on down. This should get sucked into the 200 pretty good. Should get sucked into it. Should be able to get my bid hit. Come on. Damn. It didn't get sucked in. Usually when it gets within 10 cents, it just sucks it in. The gravity of the 200 just pulls it in. I don't want to go manual and take it around 60s, in the 60s. I want to see it pull in. I want to see this get sucked in. Here we go. Come on. Make that hurricane. Come on, baby. There we go. That's what Dad is talking about. So now, if we can get away from this 200, That's going to be a tall order to get away from this. But if we can get away from it, the 200 down here would be the target. So I'll put this, I doubt if it'll get there. Doubt if it'll get there, but that's the target. That's the final target right here. Let me put my stop in. Um, $28.50 is gonna be my stop. $28.55. All right, because that'll put it over. That means it would have pushed the 5-minute opening range high. What do you mean? Where did I get the final target? What's... to this line here? This is the 200 on the 5-minute chart. And this is the 200 from the daily chart. That's why I'm saying I don't think this is that we're gonna lose this level here. It'd be difficult to lose this level. This is the 200 from the daily chart. This has actually gone down. This is at 27.52 now.
AEO.
It was at 55 this morning. Ugh. So we just have to chill out here.
AEO.
So we'll see if it's going to give us that other opportunity. Remember, ideally, we want to stay locked into the same stock the rest of the day. Ideally, that's what we want to do. And this could bounce. You know, it looks like it's ready to run. It could bounce back, take us out, but this 200 just seems to be really strong. I mean, it triggered some serious buying off of this level. Wow, what happened to FIBE? Ah, shit. That's what we needed right there. It didn't have any volume or nothing. But look how crazy it traded on earnings. It'd have been nice if SFIX did that.
5.
But wow.
AEO.
Wow. All right, now there's something else. I didn't mark this because this was so close. But there's a daily level here
5.
on SFIX. This thing has a ton of support sitting right here. Has a ton of support sitting right here. I mean, I'm not gonna take this last piece off. I mean, if it stops me out, it stops me out. But you know, we got a lot of support here that this thing held. It actually held this level. I mean, we dipped down and touched the 200 here, but it actually held this level, which is a bad sign. So we got somebody, some fun, something. They've got a nice line of defense sitting right there. Impenetrable.
5.
Over now. I'm wondering if five's gonna. This could be a good reversal trade here. we can find some support that it can bounce off of. That's what I want to see. See if we can find some support. Damn, it faded to 200. Daggone, the 200 is right here. Off the daily chart. But maybe a little bit late catching a reversal. Nah, this is the first candle that bounced. It's crazy. It's the first candle that bounced.
GPS.
This thing can't be any slower.
AEO.
Yeah. I don't see any support until we get to
GPS.
117. Here's where we bounced out the market yesterday. And then I don't see any support on it till down to 117.25-ish. We're about to hit our spot here. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna get that. See, this has moved up some. I should have taken, God dog it. This actually moved up a little bit. It's at 2601. I mean 2701. Or 2691. So the 200 is creeping up. Let me see if we get another dip down there, then I'll take some off. Damn. I hate I wasn't on top of this. See if we can pull in a little bit more this time. Come on down. And I'll grab some. I'm gonna take some off down here. Just when I took some off, the damn thing hit where I wanted it to. Ah! Oh no. Damn it. If I would have waited a couple more seconds, I would have been perfect. Alright. I'm sitting here trying to track FIVE, and I probably missed the damn reversal on it. I hate it when things set up at the same time. Yep, I missed it. I missed the damn setup. There's the entry right there. Why does everything happen at the same damn time? This was a beautiful reversal right off of the low from yesterday. Beautiful. Hate it when that happens. When everything's happening at the same time. And I can't chase it. So no, I hit the desk. Yep, it's trying to give us a little entry here. But I'm not gonna chase it now. Just gonna leave it alone. Yeah, but look at the 2 minute and it's rolling back. We just made a lower low on the 2 minute. It can't figure out what it wants to do. So we had, you guys had your pick today. Whatever you sold, whatever you traded, worked out really good. CIEN, HOME, SFIX, CLDR even did, a little bit of damage. It didn't make the big moves, but had a nice rejection. You just have to size up for that. No, I didn't. I hadn't made a couple grand. I'm not trading it that big. Plus, this is on margin restriction today, so I couldn't do much with it anyway. Man, this was really nice. That reversal that we saw. I just hate SFIX and that was working at the same time. So I just kind of hated that fact. Let's see, what is it going to do? This level is 26.35. See if it gets to that level. Oh yeah. I mean, I've traded 1,000 shares in my main account. I'll do it. Won't think twice about it. Like I said, it's a different mindset. Depending on what you're trading, it's a different mindset. That's why people that follow these guys that post ungodly gains and that are trading larger accounts, if you try to follow them in a small account, you're gonna be really sad. When you're in a small account, if you want to chase waterfalls, you got to be prepared to lose the money. But you got to, when you're trading a small account, you got to find the right stocks, and you got to be patient. You got to be disciplined. You got to be able to allow the trade to work.
GPS. MNK. GPS. GPS.
All right, you're welcome.
GPS.
See if we can get this down. It's not gonna get there. Looks like it's found a bottom down here. Yeah, I'm here. What do I usually do at this time? 11 o'clock I go to lunch. So right now I'm just looking. If there's a secondary move setting up, then I'm looking to get in on the secondary move. But in the summertime, once the first 30 minutes is over, the volatility is pretty much gone. So now you're just trying to catch some secondary moves. Off your watch list, if you got stocks setting up for, a secondary move is trending. Those are going to be slower, tend to, run all day. And you can just kind of slowly pull in some profit. So that's kind of what we're, trying to do today. Man, I can't believe home. That's been amazing. That has been amazing. All right, guys. The last reminder. Um, Before we take it off, that special that we got. There's a couple more spots for those that sign up. That's gonna get the double. There's a couple more spots, so it's the last call.
GPS.
Last call for alcohol. So if you have any questions, just shoot me an email at ed@averagejoetrader.com. I'll be glad to chat with you about it.
PSTG.
It's like it's bouncing off this 200. It was running up. Whenever you see a strong 200 like that, it's
PSTG.
likely it's not gonna fade. But you got this. The SPY's rolling over. Yeah. It gets added on. Yeah. Tell your friend they better do it quick because there's only a couple more that I can offer. Yeah. So at this point, if you're in a trade, I'm letting it work. If it comes back and stops me out, remember the example we looked at earlier where the time between, let's say now and 12:30 or 1, it was just a lull. It traded sideways and we were just patient until it set up again, and then we got in and traded it through to the end of the day. That's what professional people do. They're not chasing stuff all day long. When they get locked in on something, and there's a lot of professional traders that only trade the same stocks every day. That's all they're looking at. 1 or 2 stocks. Some just trade the FANG stocks every day. Facebook, Apple, Netflix, ones that can, Google, Tesla. They're trading the same stocks every day. Now, and not all of them set up every day. Not all of them will set up every day. Some will have, one day one will be working, or you may have a week or 2 weeks where one stock is really volatile. It's that's just the way the market works. But they're not, professional traders are not chasing stocks all day. They're not. They get set up, they know what they're looking at, and they focus in on it, if it's not working, then it doesn't work that day. And then they don't try to force it. No, FIVE is not trading worth 2 cents. You can look at the wicks here. And this is what stopped me from getting in, because it did come back within a range that I could have gotten in. But look at the wicks. And then all of a sudden you got this huge sell-off. And now we're pulling back. I think the level, there's a daily level here around 117.25 right here. There's a daily level right here. But right now it's just chopping around. Look, the volume is gone. Less than 100,000 shares on this candle. This candle is already 3.5 minutes in, and we're less than 50,000 shares traded. So the volume is kind of dying on this. You're welcome, Red. No, the reversal setup was right here. Right here. But it failed. And so I wouldn't get in this just right now. I mean, you might get a move up to the 9 here. But the way this thing is trading, this is not a clean reversal trade. The clean setup. You're welcome. Now, no, I wouldn't go long on SFIX on this bounce because there's too much resistance up here. Too much resistance. So I would be buying into resistance. It's just like trying to buy into here. Why the hell would you buy into all of this? Just because it's starting to bounce, it doesn't make sense. Look at all the resistance you're running into. Now, yeah, it can trade all the way through it, but why risk it? Here, you could have bought the bounce off of this 200, but the 200 from the daily is right there. It could have reversed there, right with the 9. You don't know. Here's a level right here. It could reverse here. When you're buying this, you're just hoping that it goes through all of these levels. And you don't want to do that. So, you're welcome. All right, so Monday is when we start with the teeny tiny account. I'm still going to be trading this account. I'm still going to be trading it. We still have, I'm still going to be talking about the trades that we can get here. So I'm not going to relegate myself just to sticking to that. Um, talking about next Wednesday. Yeah, we'll be talking about some money management. You're welcome. I wish I was in the Bahamas right now.
J&J.
I don't know. Maybe your VWAP setting is different. Because
J&J.
the 9 is definitely not above the VWAP. So I don't know what's up with your account, with your with your chart. Because I'm even looking at, I'm looking at TD Ameritrade, the Thinkorswim chart, and it's identical to what I've got on SureTrader on DOS. This SM, this means this is a stop market order for $28, meaning that once the stock gets to 28, a market order is going to be sent to stop me out. This price here is telling you,
TSLA.
I think this is the price that that it was when I put the order in. I think that's what this is. This is what the price was when I put the order in. This is the time that I put the order in. I mean, that's fine. You can send me a picture, but I mean, I don't know what's wrong with, I don't know what the settings are. So it's got to be something with the settings on your chart. Because you can see SFIX, you can see it there. You can look at, you can look at it here whenever this decides to show up. Same deal. Here's the 9 right here. There's the VWAP up there. It's identical. So it's got to be something wrong with your the settings on your chart. No, it won't be break even. Um, my entry my average is right here at 28.80. That's my average. So the stop is actually 80 cents before you get there. So technically it's a profit stop. It's not a break even stop. After I take my first profit, it'll be a break even stop. Then after I take the second profit or the third profit, I'm not going to let it go all the way back to break even. All right, you're welcome. You got, I mean, I needed you today. 26.35. This is a daily level. That's a level, a pivot point from the daily chart. I typically get back from lunch around 12:30, between 12:30 and 1. Depends on if how many mentor sessions I do. You know, if I have two during lunch, then it'll be 1 o'clock before I get back. I mean, I'm here a lot of times. I'm sitting here, but I'm on Skype doing the mentor session.
PSTG.
All right, you guys can see how it's holding. This thing is holding the 200. It's just riding the 200 up. I mean, in the 9 is coming down, but it's riding the 200 up. So you know you can almost guess who's gonna be who's the strongest in this. Just go to the average Joe trader. Just look up. That's where you'll find me.
PSTG.
You would have to email it. If you want to send me a picture, you'd have to email it. You can see what's in, and you could bet this 200 is the strongest. Yeah, I mean you can send it to Sure Trader, but
PSTG.
I mean the problem has to be the problem has to be in your settings for your indicators. I mean that's the only thing that could cause it to look different. Has to be the settings. And this is also the hardest time of the day to keep from taking new trades. Especially if you lost money at the open, you're antsy about trying to make it back. You don't want to, be red, and you try to force something that's just not there. This is the time you have to really be careful, and accept what you got. When you're trading this smaller account, there are going to be plenty days where we just have to accept whatever we have. The market's not going to be there. It doesn't have, any stocks in our range, in our wheelhouse that's going to give us the moves that we're looking for. So, then we just have to accept that and move on. So now, if this thing, okay, here we had a bounce here, pull back, bounce here, we made a higher high. If this pullback holds here and makes a higher low, then it may be safe to go long in this. But I don't like it because it doesn't have a lot of volume. That's what you're going to have to be concerned about with this trade, is the lack of volume.
PSTG.
Look up Lynn. Well, I can look it up real quick. Some of them are already members. They just add it on. So what you want to do, the ones that add it on, just off to the side, type in roadmap add-on, and then add them to the roadmap, students page. That's for the people that are already members. The ones that are brand new, you're just gonna put them in the way you normally put them in. All right, Lynn. I don't know. I can't look it up now. I don't know if you have any. If you're one of those that have mentoring time or not. But this is the perfect opportunity to use some of that time. Because if you need help setting up your platform and setting up your charts, we'd have to do it over screen share and go through it, step by step.
PSTG.
That's part of your mentoring time if you're just now starting and trying to get set up. All right, guys. Well, it is at my lunchtime, so we're gonna sign off here. I'm just gonna let this. This is just gonna go. It's either gonna stop me out, or it's gonna fail and roll over. Like I said, I'll be looking at this after lunch to see if we get a secondary move. This thing can actually fade or lose this 200 at some point and start to come back in and sell off some more. So, we'll just let it run through lunch and then we'll come back in the afternoon. But remember, we're not going to force trades. We're not going to chase anything. The market just has to come to us. And that's going to keep us from losing our money, losing any profits we have, or, giving back more money.
This person already has a remote.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today on YouTube. Um, I hope you got something out of this. So don't forget, if you want to take advantage of the special, I got a couple seats left. Just head over to the website and you'll see the picture. Just click on it. It'll take you right where you need to go. But you guys have a great rest of the day. And we'll see you in the jungle.